What's going on, guys? Cold Kojo, and in this video I want to show you how to build your first iOS app in 6 minutes or less. We're going to do our best to stay under that. So I don't want to waste too much time. Let's go ahead and get started. First of all, you're going to need xcode to get started. So once you have xcode installed, you can get it from the Mac App Store. If you don't have it already, go ahead and pause and go ahead and download it. You're going to want to open xcode, and then we're going to create a new xcode project. We're going to create a single view app. We're going to call it first app. Make sure that your language and user interface are set to Swift and Storyboard. We're going to go ahead and click Next. You can put it wherever you want. Cool. Now we're in Xcode. So the first thing we're going to do is jump into the main.storyboard right here. And what we're going to want to do is click the plus button at the top of the screen. Go ahead and grab the label right here. Click and drag it onto the screen. Then at the bottom here, we've got two rectangles. This is the align button with a little line on the left. Go ahead and click that button, and we're going to click the two options at the bottom to center this horizontally and vertically inside of the view. So now we can see that the label's perfectly centered, and it'll be like that on all devices. So now that we've got that, we're going to go ahead and change the text of the label to say 0. Then we're going to change the color of the label to black. We'll go ahead and change the font size to, let's go ahead and change it to 48. So we've got a nice big label. And let's change the font style to black. That way we've got a really nice bold number in the middle of the screen. Now that we have that, we're going to want to add a button to the screen. So click that plus button again and drag a button onto the screen. Then we're going to click this button down here. This is the constraint button. And we're going to want to make this button be 20 pixels from the left, 20 from the right, and 20 from the bottom. So make sure you've got those three values and the red line marked on all these. You can click it to turn it on and off. Make sure that you've got red lines on all of them. Then we're going to click the height button, and we're going to change the height to 44. Then we're going to click Add 4 Constraints. Now our button is nicely positioned at the bottom. It's 44 pixels tall, and it's got even spacing to each side. Now we're going to change the button text to say Click Me. Or I guess you could make it say whatever you want. I'm going to put Click Me. Then you could click this T button again right here to change the font. We're going to change the style to bold, and we're going to make the size 16. Now I'm going to change the text color to also be black. I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to change the background color down here to be green, just so we have a nice solid looking button. Cool, now our layout is done. So now that we've finished the layout of our application, we're going to write some code now. So to do that, we're going to want to click these 5 lines or so up here at the top. We're going to click the Assistant Editor. This is going to allow us to look at our layout on the left and our code on the right, and we can make connections between the two. So go ahead and give yourself a couple lines up here at the top. This is called our view controller. This is where we're going to write the code associated with this view. So go ahead and click on your label, hold the control key, and drag it into the code here. And it's going to say Insert Outlet or Outlet Collection. So now that we have our outlet, make sure the connection says outlet, and you're going to want to put number label. And now we have a code or a programmatic reference to the label in the layout, and we can change it when the application runs. We can make it say different things or change the style or whatever. In this application, we're just going to change the number. That's the goal of this application. So now that we have that, we've got our reference there. Now 2 lines below that, we're going to create a variable, and we're going to call it count, and we're going to set it equal to 0. And a variable is just some data that we can change and show to the user. So now that we have that, the last thing we're going to want to do is connect the button to our view controller. And to do that, we're going to hold the control key again, drag it below this viewDidLoad function right here. Make sure your connection says action, and we're going to put on button tap. Now, anytime we tap this button, the code between these two braces right here is going to get run. So what we're going to do in this application is we're going to say count equals count plus 1. And what that's going to do is add 1 to the count every single time that we click on it. So the first time we click it, it'll say 1. Next time it'll say 2, 3, so on and so forth. But now we need to display that to the user with the number label. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down 1 line, and we're going to say number label dot text equals, we're going to put double quotes, we're going to put a backslash and 2 parentheses, and inside of those parentheses we're going to say count. And what that's going to do is allow us to display the count to the user inside of that label as if it were text. So now at the top here, you can click whatever device you want to run. I'm going to do the iPhone 11 Pro, and go ahead and click the play button. I'm going to move my screen over a little bit so we can see it over here on the right side of the screen. Now once this loads up, we're going to see our application here. We've got our label in the middle of the screen and the button at the bottom. Now again, every time we click this button, it's going to run that little set of code. So let's go ahead and click it once. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so on and so forth. You keep clicking the button, it's going to keep going up. So congratulations, we built our first application. We could take this in many different directions now, and I would encourage you to keep playing around with the code if you want to. But if you're looking for the next step in learning to be an iOS programmer, there's a ton of courses on this channel. If you like this video, go ahead and give us a like, subscribe to it if you want to see content like this. And like I said, go check out the rest of the channel and you can continue going. We've got all sorts of content that considers whether you're where you're at now, which is like at the very beginning potentially of your iOS career, and will take you to as advanced as you want to go. So go ahead and check it out, and I'll see you in the next video.